business, we're all about making media that is an insight into the world of work, help students prepare for the world of work, and it's all free for the end user. That's our model. And it became very clear to us that there were gaps, certainly in the market and certainly within education, with regard to preparing young people for the world of work. Right at the very beginning, creative concept, what would be the context of the film. We worked very closely with BT, and James Lawrence, who was the consultant from BT on the project, was able to give us incredible information about the real world of work process. He had interviewed many people and young people for jobs, so we actually had someone with us right at the early concept point that was able to say, that's not realistic, that is realistic, this is what I ask young people, this is how they react, this is how they turn up in front of me sometimes, most unprepared. So that's really kind of how we got to where we got at the end. We also work with quite a number of local schools, so we were always able at each stage to actually say, have a look at this, what do you think of this, get the feedback. It was probably a 4 to 5 month process from original idea to actually delivering the project, but most of that time, I'm sure you can appreciate, was editing and post-production and keep reviewing things.
Sorry I'm late. What?
We did everything in-house. The skills we have within the organisation range from creative people right the way through to titling editors to message editors. We are a studio. We have our own chroma key studio on the premises, so we have the usual array of production jobs within the organisation.
Whoa, Chloe, you're a nightmare. You're an accident waiting to happen. Now, you've probably already failed your interview by being late and not letting anybody know.
We probably ended up, it costed BT somewhere just under 20,000 UK pounds, so under 25,000 euros end to end, and that was all of the pre-production, all of the storyboarding, all of the creative, all of the filming on location and also in chroma key studios. And then I think it was the best part of nearly 2 months of editing in post-production as well. So that's kind of how the project shaped itself.
So, Chloe, how are you doing today?
I'm alright, thanks.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that for me?
I said I'm alright, thanks.
Okay, Chloe, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I don't know what you want me to say, really.
We would do it in half the time if we did it again. I think you probably hear this a lot. We spent far too long in post-production. We spent far too long actually in editing stage, purely because I think we had many stakeholders in the team that had opinions, and we tried to please all of the stakeholders. And I think if I put the clock back, I would say, no, this is the vision, this is what we're outputting, and that's what we will do. And I think that's what makes us quite unique in the UK, is that we're a technology and a film company together. So we kind of understand the importance of it's not about just making film. Anybody can make a film at the end of the day, but it's about getting metrics on the film, how effective was that bit of media. We have some really cool tools that are behind the film, so in terms of film viewings, it's not just about how many people looked at the film, we're able to tell how much of the film and who looked at it.
Right, we find ourselves now at the all-important level 5.
They use it in a variety of ways, so quite often it could be teacher-led with an interactive whiteboard, and they do one module out of the 7 modules in one lesson. Other times it's an introduction, and then the students are allowed in the IT suite just to jump in and go through the modules, at their own pace. One thing I take away from today and from the event is how broad the film contribution has been from the finalists, and So if there's anyone thinking, well, I don't think we've quite got the right context or we haven't quite got the right film, I think if they're making media and they're in education, then have a look at it. I mean, as far as we're concerned, you know, we're going to keep coming back now.
I think I'm right for this job because I've done research on your company, I've looked into it, and I've also done some work experience for a similar company, and I think the experience that I gained there would mean that I could definitely be an asset to your company.